notice. He's lost his last two. 6'1", 234 pounds, 35 years of age. He has a professional record of 42-8 with 38 knockouts. 42 of his bouts have ended in knockouts, either 38 knockout wins or 4 knockout losses. And his opponent tonight, all the way from the Ukraine, is Wladimir Klitschko. Klitschko, 23 years of age, 6'7", 236 pounds, 1996 Olympic gold medalist in the super heavyweight division, 29-1 with 27 knockouts in his career. And his brother has the WBO heavyweight title, Vitaly, and you see him standing just outside the ring. We asked Wladimir if he'd ever fight Vitaly for the heavyweight championship, and he said the goal is to each of them get some belts, and they'd never fight each other because that would make their mother cry.
Bob, I got to ask Teddy something off the bat. Teddy, I look at Vladimir here. He's giving you the Ivan Drago deadpan look.
We went over
is
the
that,
rules in the
is
dressing
that out of
room.
nervousness, or is he? You see what I mean? Is he covering up right here?
I think it fits in with the look, to be quite honest with you. These are big guys. These are sculpted guys. These are robot-looking guys. And in a way, it sells. It kind of goes right along with the hype, right along with the image. Guy from Europe, you think of the Russian, you think about Rocky.
He certainly is big.
Now, he's got to see if he can fight.
Referee is Joe Cortez.
He looked good against Axel Schultz, what I saw. Had that jab working pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good win for him. But, of course, he has that loss back in '98 to Ross Purity.
That's not such a good one.
No, that's not quite as good.
Klitschko ran out of gas in that fight. He said he was still making the transition from the amateur style to the pro style. Klitschko has been in Germany for the last 2 years, and when he went to Germany from the Ukraine, he did not speak a lick of German. Now he's fluent in German and studying English, so he wants to make himself global. This is his second fight in the United States. His other fight in the U.S. came in Louisiana on August of 1998, right here on Friday Night Fights. 6-round knockout of Carlos Monroe. There you see the knockout ratio. 9 of Klitschko's knockouts have come in the first round.
Klitschko's a straight-up European-type guy, and that can be dangerous sometimes with a guy like Phil Jackson, who's a pretty good banger. One thing he can do is he can punch, and sometimes he can throw the kind of punches that can land if you're standing straight up, those looping-type hooks and looping right hands. The problem with Jackson is sometimes he's not always there to fight.
Jackson brought in his old trainer, Pat Burns, back into the fold within the last week. Burns helped guide Jackson to a 25-0 record and a world championship shot. And eventually he went down the tubes.
You know, Teddy, Phil Jackson is dangerous. He can hit. He lost to Monty Barrett recently, earlier in this year, I believe it was. But let's be honest, if you can't beat Phil Jackson at this point in Klitschko's career, it doesn't bode well for the future. He should not only win here, but dominate tonight, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he would want to do that, obviously, but he's got that loss to Ross Purity. And, of course, Ross Purity is just a good, solid journeyman-type guy. But that was in a longer fight. That was in a 12-round fight. He was winning in the 8 rounds, and then he started falling apart, venturing into grounds he wasn't used to. Well, tonight, he didn't get tested in that way because it's only 8 rounds.
It's interesting you say it, because I was at Mariki's fight up in Yonkers there, Teddy, your kid who keeps improving every time out, and you were telling me not enough guys today become even good 6-round fighters before they become 10-round fighters, right?
That's right. There's such a rush to get a guy to 10 rounds so they can go on TV that they forget to pay attention to the trade and make them a 6-round before they become an 8-round fighter. Make them a pro. And that's what I'm trying to do. I appreciate you came to that fight with Alvio Mariki. He's 13-0 now.
Got to sneak in there. Teddy doesn't want me in there.
I'm surprised he didn't have you evicted.
Oh, it was nice to see you there. So, as long as you're not giving instructions. You give instructions, give them to the other guy.
Well, so far, Phil Jackson is cutting off the ring a little bit here. He started to pick it up a little bit in terms of his cutting off the ring, and Klitschko just continues to jab his head off.
Jackson told us yesterday he feels that Klitschko's people made a huge mistake by allowing this fight to be 8 rounds.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Bob.
He says feels I don't have to worry about pacing myself. I know I can go hard for 8. Double jab by Klitschko. Final 10 seconds of this first round. It is scheduled for 8 rounds. These are heavyweights. The Ukraine's Wladimir Klitschko and Miami's Phil Jackson here on Friday Night Fights from Las Vegas.
Time!
ESPN presents Know the Game. The 2000 Major League Soccer season will present some new and improved rules of competition. In the event of a tie after 90 minutes of playtime, teams will have 10 extra minutes of sudden death golden goal action instead of shootouts. For 2000, the 12 teams will be divided in 3 conferences instead of 2, and the official game clock will start running forward instead of backwards. Know the game.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada. Bob Papa along with Teddy Atlas. Max Kellerman has come down from his perch. Poor Andre is all alone. So what did you think of Klitschko in the first round, guys?
What I've been hearing and what I saw in the Schultz fight, he's big, he's a little bit stiff, but he pumps a good jab.
Yeah, I want to see him test it a little bit. I want to see Phil Jackson. The problem with Phil Jackson, he's a powerful guy, he's a good puncher, but sometimes he does enough to lose. You know, he gets a little bit of that loser mentality. I want to see him start firing some leather, and then maybe we get some answers.
He quit against Ruddock that time. Maybe he's never stopped quitting, Teddy, again in the big fights.
According to CompuBox numbers, Jackson did not land a punch of the 27 he threw in that first round.
That's a good point, Max. He was undefeated at the time. He was 26-0 with 23 knockouts, I believe, Phil Jackson. And his first big test was, as you said, Razor Ruddock. And he wasn't ready for it. He didn't have any medium test in between that. He went from the wading pool to the ocean. He didn't have any medium range test to get ready for that big jump up. And I think he got his spirit taken away from him in that loss to Ruddock.
Take a look at the punch numbers in round number 1. Of the 22 landed by Klitschko, 20 were jabs. So he landed 20 of 40 jabs in that first round, and Jackson was an opener.
They say the difference between the Klitschko brothers is Vitaly is more of a search and destroy guy, and Vladimir is more of a boxer. But Bob, I think there's something wrong with my headset, because I thought I heard Teddy say good point before to me.
Yeah, I know.
Must be something malfunctioning.
Play that back.
Hey, you know, like they said in that movie, in that cowboy movie with Billy Crystal, it's early yet.
Okay.
It's still early.
Well, you know, that was a little CompuBox history, guys. You're going to have to maybe get the videotape of that. The only other time that CompuBox had a full round where no punches were landed was Hazienza against Roy Jones.
That'll also be the last time you ever hear Klitschko and Roy Jones mentioned in the same sentence, Bob.
As you said before, Max, his last fight, Klitschko was able to stop Axel Schultz. Good win and a good result. The only guy ever to stop Axel Schultz. And of course, Schultz has fought for the heavyweight title 3 times. Against Michael Moorer, George Foreman, and Francois Volta.
There's a right hand after a left that sends Jackson down here in round 2.
4, 5.
There is a
6,
3 knockdown rule
7,
in the state of Nevada.
8. How you feel?
Oh, look at that knee buckled.
Now Jackson falls down again, so that's it.
I don't like the way he just went down, Teddy. It didn't look good.
No, not. I don't know if it's the leg or if it's something neurological. Of course, we don't know.
A guy who's been through a lot of fights like Phil Jackson at this point in his career, although it was only the second round.
Well, Jackson told us that he quit when he felt it was time, and he might have gotten that call. His 3 sons are here tonight. Phil Jr., 13, and he said, I don't want to get my brain scrambled and not be able to enjoy my kids. And the way he went down there the second time, Max, you have to be concerned.
Didn't look good.
So Wladimir Klitschko came to the U.S. and did what he was supposed to do. Scored a knockout, his 28th. He's now 30-1. And the very, very skilled medical staff here in Las Vegas is attending to Phil Jackson right now. This is 2 weeks in a row now where we've seen a guy dusted.
This is the problem with it. People were talking about corruption in boxing. Not that this is a terrible matchup, but the problem really is matchmaking. You have a guy like Klitschko, you're going to be extremely careful with the way you match him up against guys, because you want him to remain undefeated. Even when you put him in with a guy like Ross Purity, he lost. And so you look for guys who you think don't have much left, and it appears to be the case here.
Well, they have Jackson up on the stool now, and the doctors are taking a look at him. Seems to have
appears to be okay.
Well, you're going to take a look at it. It was a left and then a right cross that did the damage. And Teddy, why don't you take us through it?
Well, first of all, Jackson was jumping in there with the wide punch there, but then he wasn't really balanced. He was standing in front, and of course the left hand set up the right hand. put punches together, there's a better chance one will land. The first one gets blocked, or the second one, the right hand got through. And again, the left hand, you're going to see the left hand is going to set up the right hand. Right hand right down the pipe, Max.
Pretty quick combinations for a very big guy, huh, Teddy?
He's got good hand speed, not bad hand speed, but let's be honest here, he wasn't tested tonight. He had a guy in front of us. We're not sure about his resolve. We're not sure about his commitment.